evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bharat's stature is rising, especially in the global diplomacy. And this fact was on full display during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Ethiopia. The 24-hour trip marked a significant moment of diplomatic elevation for the two countries, but one look at the highlights, and you will see several moments of pride for every single Indian. It started with Prime Minister Modi being conferred with Ethiopia's highest civilian award, making him the first global head of state to receive this recognition, the Great Honor Nishan of Ethiopia. It is the 28th international accolade bestowed on Prime Minister of India by a foreign nation, underscoring the growing global recognition of his statesmanship that also raises the pride of the country we call Bharat. Then, at the banquet dinner, Ethiopian singers sung a wonderful rendition of Vande Mataram, and Prime Minister Modi could be seen proudly applauding and appreciating, especially at a time when India marks 150 years of its national song.
India's national song Vande Mataram and the Ethiopian national anthem both refer to our land as the mother. They inspire us to take pride in the heritage, culture, national beauty, and protect the motherland.
Prime Minister Modi later wrote that it was a deeply moving moment for him, but later his words moved Ethiopia's lawmakers as he addressed a joint session of the Ethiopian parliament. The response was extraordinary. A standing ovation lasting nearly 90 seconds. The applause started soon after he finished his speech and continued almost endlessly. Not just that, even during the speech, there were almost more than 50 rounds of applause. The visit was capped by a rare personal diplomatic honor. Ethiopian Prime Minister himself drove Prime Minister Modi to the airport. This was not routine diplomacy. This was recognition. Recognition that goes beyond protocol, a signal of trust, respect, and India's growing weight on the world stage.
With the call of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas, together for everyone's growth, with everyone's trust and effort.
But even as India stood tall on the global stage, the opposition chose criticism. When Prime Minister Modi commanded the Ethiopian parliament, the Congress accused him of belittling India's parliament and democracy. When the Prime Minister was being honored the 28th time, the opposition resorted to mockery.
सम्मान के क्यों दिया गया क्या मुझे मालूम नहीं है। इथियोपिया की गवर्नमेंट को लगता होगा कि बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं। वो तो हमेशा उनकी आदत है लेकिन वहाँ ठीक ढंग से ये सब करना और यहाँ मुसलमानों के खिलाफ हर दिन बोलना।
पासपोर्ट इंडेक्स घट के 85 रैंकिंग में आ गया इंडिया का पासपोर्ट। तो यात्राएं तो प्रधानमंत्री इतनी करते हैं, लेकिन जो विश्व गुरु बनने की क्षमता है वो कम हो रही है।
आप राहुल जी से सवाल पूछते हो, प्रधानमंत्री से सवाल नहीं पूछते आप। आपको केवल एक ही काम रह गया, राहुल जी राहुल जी राहुल जी, बस।
And guess who's back to the fault-finding routine? Leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi, currently touring Germany. Invited by the Progressive Alliance, Rahul Gandhi is also scheduled to meet German government ministers today during a guided tour of a BMW manufacturing plant in Munich. He questioned India's growth story and claimed our manufacturing is on the decline.
India needs to start producing. Production is the key for the success of any country. And our manufacturing is declining. It should actually be going up.
As the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi is justified in being worried about production in India. But the problem here is that his concerns, just like when he says democracy in our country is under attack or India is a dead economy, are once again deprived of truth. Viewers, Rahul Gandhi has once again misled India's growth story, and once again he has chosen foreign soil to do so on. Let's put numbers on the table. India's manufacturing output has risen 9.1% against a growth rate of 7.7% in the preceding quarter. In electronics manufacturing, India's production has jumped from 1.9 lakh crore to 11.3 lakh crore in the last decade. Exports are up nearly 9 times. Mobile manufacturing units have risen from just 2 to nearly 300. Mobile exports are up by a staggering 133 times. This is not spin. This is scale, and these are numbers. But opposition won't let facts come in the way of the narrative they are trying to create.
Criticize India for what it is not doing. But don't undermine Indian people's achievement. It is they who are toiling to make India a successful economy.
That's true. Is it not false? That's true. We have to be manufacturing. That's the greatest problem we are having it. And all governments accept it. And all industries also accept it.
Rahul Gandhi, this is the first time that our defense exports have reached 23,000 crores. The FDI in manufacturing has grown exponentially in the last few years. IIP, PMI index, all of them show record manufacturing prowess in this country. But unfortunately, except for manufacturing lies, Congress has done nothing.
It is not just democracy or economy or politics that is on the Congress's radar. Rahul Gandhi's party refuses to spare even the men in uniform. An ex-chief Minister Prithviraj Chavan yesterday called for Indian Army to be disbanded, work on something else. A day later, you would think he would do a course correction, but Chavan still remains defiant, probably because he knows that he has his party's backing.
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर मध्ये पाहिलं की मिलिटरीची 1 किलोमीटर सुद्धा कुठे हालचाल झाली. मग आपल्याला 12 लाख आर्मी ठेवायची काय गरज आहे का? मग त्यांच्याकडे दुसरं काहीतरी काम करून घेऊ आपण.
So are you apologizing right now?
Out of the question.
Okay.
You have right to ask questions. अभी ये मत लो यार.
अच्छा ठीक.
बिल्कुल मेरा राइट है. Constitution gives me a right to ask questions.
कि जो भी हो असलियत बता दो, हमारा हक बनता है देशवासी के नाते, ताकि हम भी जागरूक रहे. मगर ये सबको ढक के झूठ बोलते रहते हैं, असत्य सुनाते रहते हैं.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the legitimate question we are asking on the Newshour tonight: are Rahul Gandhi and Congress now manufacturing defects in India to target Modi? That's the question, and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight with me is BJP's national spokesperson Nalin Kohli, Anand Ranganathan, political analyst, scientist, doctor, vaccine manufacturer, all in one. Also joining me this evening is Vivek Silas, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Somnath Bharti ji, national spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, also a former minister, Niladri Bhattacharya, political analyst. But my first question goes to Tehseen Poonawalla of the Congress Party. Tehseen Poonawalla, economy was dead. Now manufacturing is declining. Numbers suggest otherwise. Disband the army. That seems to be the Congress's agenda. Everything bad about India spoken on foreign soil, while Mr. Rahul Gandhi can see nothing that's going right in India. Is this just somehow to score political brownie points over Modi that you have to deride the country every time?
Thank you for having me on the show, Navika. Good evening to you, to my fellow panelists, and to all your viewers. Let me just explain something to the viewers of Times Now. I hope I will not be interrupted because I want to give out data. And I hope it won't be condescending. Yes, India has grown at 7.8% or 6 to 7% as the government says. And I'm not even getting to IMF saying that we have a C, they've rated our agencies as C in terms of what our growth is. I'm not getting into that. But most of this growth is K-shaped growth where it's only benefiting a few. For example, the BJP spokesperson who's by to played rightly said that India is number 2 in telecom and our export and electronics. While that is true, there are exports that have grown largely due to services and pharmaceuticals. But at the end of the day, this is an uneven growth. And please bear me out. All of our data, for example, the PMI data, the PMI data shows that actually the PMI ranking of India slipped to 55 to 57 in the latest 2025 numbers that have come out. Now, this has been accepted. Now, let me take this to manufacturing. Manufacturing as a percentage of the economy, which was supposed to be 25% achieved at 2025, the aim of Make in India is actually at 16%. This is lower than what it started in 2014. Employment due to manufacturing is at a worrying 11.4%. This is the lowest since 1965, Navika. In 2014, when Manmohan Singh left it, it was 17% of the economy. That is the challenges we face. Amongst the employed youths, amongst those who are young and in urban areas, the unemployment is as high as 20%. Your bank credits have fallen to 9%, Navika, and your GST collections have for the first time shown the lowest growth in GST collections at 0.7%. All of this indicate that while there has been growth in our economy, it is uneven, it has a lot of problems, and these problems need to be addressed. Part of this, and I'll end out here, part of this is, as the Congress MP said, for example, because we assemble mobiles, nothing wrong with it, our deficit with China is going so high and our rupee is weakening. These are problems that are structural problems in our economy.
Well, may I just remind you that while some data that you've read out, I can also read out data to you, and this data is from manufacturing. If you just look at the electronics sector, it has grown by 495%. If you look at electronics exports, they have grown by 760%. If you look at manufacturing of mobile units, it has grown by 15,000%. Mobile phone production value has increased by about 3,000%. Mobile phone exports is up by about 13,000%. Now, these are percentages I'm giving you. As far as auto exports is concerned, $35 billion worth of exports, and these are manufacturing sector. I also gave you the manufacturing sector, which grew from last quarter to this quarter from 7.7% to 9.1%. These are data points. And Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla, of course there are problems. But why not discuss those problems in Parliament? Why discuss and debate everything in a foreign country? And Nalin Kohli, isn't that really the problem? We will not sit in Parliament. We will not debate on real issues. We will go on with vote chori at home. And when we go abroad, we will deride the country, including his party actually saying disband the armed forces.
Navika ji, you're making a very fair point, and that's the crux of the problem. What should be discussed or debated is now conveniently blocked out by the opposition, and the government says it again and again. We are open to any debate, any subject, but under the rules. And that is not happening. And there's a pattern. Every time Rahul ji goes abroad, he comes up with something or the other against the country. He went to some university in England and said, what is India, what is Europe and America doing about democracy in India, by alleging that democracy in India is under threat. He's an elected member of parliament. When Mr. Dr. Shashi Tharoor speaks as part of a multi-party delegation in favor of India on Operation Sindoor, Dr. Shashi Tharoor is criticized. That's partisan. When he was speaking in national interest. So I think the point here is Mr. Rahul Gandhi went and visited a well-known car manufacturer, bike manufacturer, very good. He liked the manufacturing facilities and felt manufacturing should increase, very good. Then he makes a point that manufacturing is declining. The larger question is declining how? Automatically, agriculture used to be 70% of the economy. It's declined as services have increased, manufacturing has increased. You have to look at it at the total. If the economy has expanded dramatically, the percentage may be a fall, but in real terms, it may have grown up massively. Look at it, iPhones being manufactured in India. Look at the amount of work being done for chip manufacturing. So steps are being taken for manufacturing. Mr. Rahul Gandhi doesn't speak on that. He doesn't speak on the mobile phone work that is happening in the country. In fact, even on tariffs, that was a point that was raised. And Apple said they will continue to do so in India because they find it attractive. A second point. In the video of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Dr. Sam Pitroda appears. So is there a coincidence in Dr. Sam Pitroda being wherever Rahulji always comes up with a comment that is negative on India or negative to India's image? Let's take Dr. Sam Pitroda's statements. I mean, there have been no shortage of controversies from him. The Northeast looks like Chinese. We are overestimating China. I feel home when I'm in Pakistan or Bangladesh. And all of this, and this was, by the way, close to Operation Sindoor or around the same time. And then hua to kya hua to 1984. So, I mean, one wonders, even on the foreign journalists, when Mr. Rahul Gandhi addresses them, or he goes to a university, they are organized by Dr. Sam Pitroda. So is Dr. Sam Pitroda presenting for Rahul Gandhi these kind of comments that run down India to make a point?
Navika, I'll just take 30 seconds to respond.
Okay, absolutely. And that's what it seems like. Quick counter, Tehseen Poonawala, 30 seconds.
Navika ji, the question I asked Nalin sir is this. The manufacturing PMI slipped to 55.7 to 56.6, the weakest in the last 2 years. The IIP is at 0.4% growth, the weakest ever in India's history. I am not talking about electronics and but leave services out.
The question I'm asking you, Tehseen Poonawala, which you have sidestepped, is why do you find fault with India abroad? Why can't you sit and debate this in the parliament? If you have these issues and suggestions to improve, why not in parliament? Why is Mr. Rahul Gandhi always running away? And that is the question I want to take to Mr. Somnath.
Because everything
Mr. Somnath, no, you didn't answer it for the last 5 minutes that I've given you an opportunity. Now you wait for others to respond. Somnath Bharti ji, my question to you is, on the one hand, the Prime Minister goes abroad, raises India's stature. He gets the 28th highest civilian award felicitation that he has got over the years in Ethiopia now. There's a standing ovation from him. He takes the India story abroad, brings back accolades for India. Rahul Gandhi goes abroad, actually derides India, never has anything good, whether it is manufacturing, economy is dead, or democracy is dying and the West should help India, or, Sikhs are not even allowed to wear their turbans, all factually incorrect statements. But facts have never come in the way of Mr. Rahul Gandhi's narrative. And isn't that the problem the Congress is facing?
No, I agree, Navika ji, and I have always been saying this on your shows many a times, that Rahul ji, for whatever reasons, he chooses to embarrass India on foreign soil quite often. So this discussion about unemployment or, let's say, manufacturing, there is lesser opportunity in manufacturing area, etc. in India. could have been discussed here. He could have done a press conference here. So he chooses, for whatever reasons, I don't know, why does he want a foreign nation to, help him, sort of make India unpopular in many ways? So that's a very, very valid question you are asking today. But at the same time, let me ask you another question. See, Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi in 2013, when he was not a Prime Minister, he had chosen in US to say that India, there is a policy paralysis. He had said that time that corruption had damaged India's global image. Investors had lost confidence in India. In Japan 2012, in his visit, as a Gujarat Chief Minister, he had said that there are many global opportunities, economic opportunities missing in India. The governance in India is weak. There is a delayed decision-making at the center. In China, he said India had become slow, India had lost credibility, India needed a government that works. India is a country of snake charmers. So I find the problem both ways. It's not that only Mr. Rahul Gandhi is saying. So Mr. Modi also had said in the past. And now the competition between the two is कि देश से बाहर ज़्यादा कौन रहेगा? So PM Modi, he had traveled around 72 foreign countries. देश के खिलाफ ज़्यादा कौन बोलेगा? At the same time, if you look at what is happening back in the country, 9 lakhs people, 9 lakhs high net worth people have left their citizenship and they've gone abroad. So we need to be really worried about all this. So I request both the parties not to criticize
Anand
India
is trying
abroad.
to come into the debate
Whatever
and
you want to
respond
do
to the
within the
charges made by Mr. Somnath Bharti. Anand Ranganathan.
Good evening, Navika, and good evening to my fellow panelists. What a wonderful discussion. Please allow me to contribute to it. I actually quite agree with Somnath Bharti ji, because I am, for one, all for anyone going abroad or in India telling the truth, even if it is not complimentary. So if Rahul Gandhi is deriding India on the parameters where he feels India falls short, that is fine by me. The point is, he's a liar. That is the question. I don't mind people telling the truth about India if the truth is not complimentary to India. But the fact is he's lying, and your very good friend Hardeep Puri ji is known for his iconic turn of phrases and jibes, but nothing matches his following recent observation to me, that it is not that Rahul Gandhi does not have a brain. It is that his brain is situated in the wrong part of his anatomy. Last year, manufacturing sector contributed highest ever to our GDP. $490 billion. Under Congress in 2013, it was $280 billion. 3 points, Navika, very briefly. Number one, last year saw independent India's highest ever GST collection, $270 billion. Highest ever vehicle sales, 25 million. Highest ever income taxpayers, 104 million. Highest ever manufacturing PMI, 59.3. Highest ever exports, $825 billion. Highest ever jobs created, 46 million. Highest ever forex reserves, $704 billion. Highest ever Sensex, 86,100. Are these telltale signs of a dead economy? Number two, it gets even better. The economic growth is inclusive. Since 2014, our GDP per capita PPP inflation adjusted has doubled to $11,000 US. In 2014, inflation was 10 to 11%. Today it is sub 2%. In 2014, multidimensional poverty as a percentage of population was 29%. Today it is 11%. We have pulled literally 260 million Indians out of abject poverty in the last 11 years. According to the World Bank, India is the 4th most equal country in the world. India's Gini coefficient, a metric for inequality, is at its lowest ever, 0.25. Furthermore, the share per adult of pre-tax national income of the bottom 50%, using data from Piketty, has taken an upturn after they reduced drastically in the UP and Navika. Fact is, rewards will come. Not if you keep on deriding Modi and Gujarat, but if you create a conducive climate. Rahul Gandhi recently claimed that Gujarat model has failed. 30 years of BJP, he said, has destroyed Gujarat. Really? Give me a minute. Gujarat is ranked number 1 amongst large states in per capita GSDP, FDI as percentage of GSDP, and gross fixed capital formation for industry. Gujarat is ranked number 1 in pharma industry output, 33% of India's drug manufacturing, 28% of pharma export. Gujarat is ranked number 1 in installed power capacity.
Well, Anand Ranganathan, we would agree with Rahul Gandhi if he was deriding Gujarat, but the Congress ruled states were doing better, but they aren't. Neither is Telangana, nor is Karnataka, nor is Himachal Pradesh. Most of these governments have made promises of freebies which they are unable to service, and their debt ratio is out of control, and that is where the economy of these three states is going. But Vivek Silas, Tehseen Poonawalla, I will come back to you, but there are other people on the panel.
You know what happens, Navika? May I just make a point? We don't get equal time. It is the opposition always opposite get a 1 minute traffic.
Because you are one of the opposition parties in power. Well, you will not get equal time. 99 seats will get only so much time. Well, let me get in Vivek Silas. Let me get in Vivek Silas. And Vivek Silas, I want to ask you, Prithviraj Chavan says that all the army should be disbanded, 12 lakh army personnel should be made to do something else. You know, are they in the business of deriding this country to an extent to hurt the country itself? Armed forces par is tarah ki baat kehna kya sahi hai? And then they won't even take it back because such comments get a pat on the back from Rahul Gandhi. So why should Prithviraj Chavan go back? Also, I want to pick up the issue of the fact that Rahul Gandhi says he's not allowed to meet any foreign delegates. He's meeting ministers in Germany. Has anybody stopped him from doing so? So question is, do facts matter or don't they when it comes to political narrative? That is the question we are asking tonight, because Rahul Gandhi uses falsehoods to try and deride India, unacceptable to the people of India.
Navika ji, I would just like to say that I totally agree with Tehseen Poonawalla and Somnath Bharti ji, whatever they have said. And it looks quite alarming. I just want to ask a valid question to the viewers of Times Now and to you as well, and to the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson. Okay, what is the trade surplus of India? It's not at all, you know. If you see, the trade deficit only with China is $116 billion. That is the reality. The debts have gone up to almost 2 lakh crores on India. That is the achievement of the Modi government, you know. And if you see and compare it to China, China has $1.1 trillion trade surplus. So if you compare to India to China, I don't want to compare India to countries. To America. Wait, Anandji, wait, please do. I don't want to compare India with a beggar country like Pakistan, but we are competing with China. USA. Where is China today and where are we? You know. और आपने कहा कि बाहर जाके राहुल गांधी ऐसा ऐसा बोलते हैं, तो मोदी जी ने क्या कहा था?
आप जब यूपीए सरकार में थे, तब तो आप चाइना के आगे निकले हुए थे. अब पीछे हुई है ना इंडिया. जब आप यूपीए सरकार में कांग्रेस को सपोर्ट कर रहे थे, तो चाइना से बहुत आगे दौड़ रहे थे. बेचारे मोदी जी ने आके अब आपको पीछे कर दिया. नलिन कोहली, is there any merit on the issues?
I need to complete, Navika. Okay. ये विदेशी धरती में क्या किसने कहा था कि अरे पिछले जन्म में कौन से पाप किए थे, किस देश में पैदा हो गए, ये तो हमारा दुर्भाग्य है. ये कोई देश है? ये कोई लोग हैं? ये कोई जगह है? ये हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्रीमान नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने विदेशी धरती पे कहा था. इससे बड़ा अपमान कहीं देखा है आपने?
उन्होंने कहा था एनआरआईज जब बाहर रहते थे तो इंडिया का स्टैचर हाई नहीं था और उन्हें शर्म का सामना करना पड़ता था. कॉन्टेक्स्ट नहीं, आपका कंप्लीट होगा नहीं सर. 11 साल हो गए, आपकी क्रिटिसिज्म कंप्लीट हुई नहीं है और सरकार बनती जा रही है मोदी जी की तीसरी बार. नलिन कोहली, प्लीज रिस्पॉन्ड.
What is there to respond? There are a set of people, Navika ji, who will criticize anything and everything that is in the country because it is under the government of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Look at what Anand Ranganathan ji said. I mean, he gave out data. He gave out data in real numbers, in a comparative nature, just a few minutes ago. And it points out how much progress has been made. But then somebody else will pick up another data point and say, no, give an answer to this. Why don't they first come with a counter to the data that, say, Dr. Anand Ranganathan has pointed out? Why run away from the fact that Rahul Gandhi ji, every time he goes abroad, runs down India, and coincidentally, Dr. Sam Petroda is always with him, who's never short of controversies. So the real issues are put aside to run down the Modi government. Let me put it in a different way. Look at the irony. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as you pointed out in the beginning of the program, received a national order from Ethiopia. That was perhaps the 26th or 27th recognition of Prime Minister Modi by different countries of the world, including the USA, Russia, France, Saudi Arabia, a host of other countries, and Ethiopia being the latest one. He's addressed 17 parliaments. I mean, that's not a mean achievement. It's a huge diplomatic outreach, recognition, and endorsement. In that light, you have now this comment, yes, but manufacturing is declining in India, so let's take the debate to the next level. What about then Congress states? Why don't we look at the last 5 years of manufacturing in Congress states and then do a comparative with, say, the equivalent BJP states? So, I mean, if you want to do a debate and
like comparison with states in the opposition sector, how much has West Bengal got in terms of investment, Niladri? Niladri ji, I want to ask you, how much has the Congress ruled states increased in terms of the manufacturing capacity? When Rahul Gandhi, when the Prime Minister raises the stature of India, simultaneously Rahul Gandhi uses wrong facts to bring India's stature down at a time when India is looking at FDI, to go and say wrong things about your economy. Isn't that supposed to be against the interests of the country?
Navika, while accepting what Mr. Somnath Bharti has said, as far as West Bengal is concerned, yes, West Bengal had a problem because of 34 years of the left rule. The TMC is trying very desperately to bring in investments. And it is also a fact in the last few days, we have seen in the newspapers, that the number of foreign tourists in the country, West Bengal leads amongst the pack of all the states. But having said so, it is also a fact that the manufacturing sector has slowed down. You can't hide everything under the carpet. Job unemployment is very high. There is a lack of quality job creation in the market. And as far as this Prime Minister is concerned...
the unemployment numbers, Anand Ranganathan is contesting your point. Anand Ranganathan is contesting your point. Where is the unemployment number coming from? And West Bengal is a manufacturing center of India.
It definitely was, but we all know why the company had to shut down.
It was in the previous century, sir.
We all know why, because 34 years of the left rule has spoiled the state. We are desperately trying very hard to bring it back.
15 years ago.
How many years has the Trinamool Congress been in power? The 10 years of UPA also spoiled the track record. It's taken Modi government so much time. How come Modi is not given the discount and only Mamta Didi is given the discount, Anand Ranganathan?
Not the previous year on the social scheme, which has been recognized by the UNESCO also.
Yes,
Anand. Dada, please. Dada is right. Mamta Di has 6 months to correct all the mistakes. But, look, let's be very honest. When he says where are the jobs that are created, I am quoting Clem's report. The entire thing was constituted by the UPA. Last year, 46 million jobs were created. What are they talking about? And finally, Vivek Silas ji ne bahut achhi baat kahi. I myself have outraged against the increasing trade deficit with... Dada, please.
Sir, why don't you say on the HSBC PMI report? Please enlighten us on that also.
I'm lowering everybody's feathers. Anand, I have 30 seconds.
Thank you. इसीलिए कहता हूं ना, facts जब contest करो तो please थोड़ा पढ़ के आया करें. I have myself outraged against the increasing trade deficit with China. In the last 10 years, the trade deficit with China has increased 3 times. But Vivek Silas ji ने ये नहीं बताया कि under 10 years of UPA, the trade deficit with China increased 35 times. ये तो बता देते. $1 billion से $37 billion हो गया था.
The faults are all in Modi, and all the positives are with the opposition led by Mr. Rahul Gandhi. But the question tonight is just this. Nobody is saying that India has achieved the peaks that it deserves to. There is a lot of work to do. There is a road that we still need to travel. It isn't as if we've reached the peak of anything that we want to achieve. But the fact of the matter is, have you ever seen constructive debate on issues that actually matter to the country? For example, manufacturing, how can it be increased? The economy, how can the rate of growth be fastened? But instead, what do we debate? We debate whether Manrega should become Ji, and whether they are anti-Gandhi when they have brought in a new act. They will talk about Vande Mataram, they will talk about vote chori, but they will not talk about the fact that India needs to get its act together if it has to grow at the rate it needs to grow to make India a superpower. That's a debate totally absent in Parliament, in the narrative, back home on the ground. Where does that leave us? Between a rock and a hard place? That's the way it seems. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me on the debate.